Hi, good morning. Welcome back. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to factor this polynomial. And this polynomial is an even degree polynomial as well as an even function. Even degree because the highest exponent is an even number, which is 4. And even function because every exponent of variable x is an even number. So that 4, 2, and 0 are even numbers. So how do we factor these kind of polynomials? Okay, so it's the same way as with the same process as you factor a quadratic expression x is 5x squared minus 13x plus 6. It's the same process you're going to do to factor this quadratic polynomial. Okay, the same process as you factor quadratic. But instead of using, so x squared is going to be x to the fourth power. Instead of x, you have x squared. So let's start. So you want to first figure out what two numbers are add to b. And the number to b is the number, the middle coefficient, which is negative 13. And the same two number needs to multiply to what number? A times c, which is 30. So always start with the product. What two number multiply to 30 and now add to negative 13? Okay, 2 and 15 will not work. Okay, 6 and 5 also will not work. I think the only two number that will work is going to be negative 3 and negative 10. Okay, they both multiply to positive 30 and add to negative 13. So what do we do then? So what we are going to do, you're going to replace, okay, so let me rewrite the first, the original polynomial. Then you're going to replace the middle term with the two newfound numbers. So I'm going to replace negative 13x squared with negative 3x squared and negative 10x squared. And then I'm going to bring down the plus 6. So now we can now use the box method, which because you have like 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Or you can do the box method, or you can use grouping. Okay, so let me do the box method. So most of you are familiar with the box method. So now using the box method, all we want to do here is to figure out, okay, what the greatest common factor for each single rows and after for the columns. If you look at the first row, the greatest common factor repeated in both can only be x squared, right? Because x squared is repeated in x squared as well as in x to the fourth power. The second row is going to be just a number. I'm going to pull out negative 2. And the first column is going to be 5 x to the fourth squared. Oops. And then the second column is going to be just the number 2. Oops, not 2, but 3. Because the factor 3 is repeated in 6. The factor of 6 are 3 and 2. Okay, so I'm going to pull out negative 3. So now let's multiply and check. X squared times 5x squared is 5x to the fourth power. X squared times negative 3 is negative 3x squared. And then negative 2 times 5x squared is negative 10x squared. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. So we factor it completely to what? X squared minus 2 times 5x squared minus 3. And that's your final factor form. Okay. So now this is doing the box method. And if you wanted to do by grouping, let me show you how you do that. Now, when you do by grouping, you won't always have to pull out. So I group the first two terms together and the last two terms together. Okay. Make sure you put a negative. If this term, the third term is negative, make sure you put the negative inside the parentheses. Now the goal is to, again, factor out the greatest common factor for the first two terms. It's just going to be x squared. So then I'm going to write 5x squared minus 3. Then here I'm going to pull out the greatest common factor, which is going to be negative 2, because the factor of 10 can be written as 2 and 5, and the factor of 6 can be written as 2 and 3. And the common factor is 2, and because the term is the variable x can never be negative, so that's why I pull out the negative. So it should be 2, and then you end up with x squared. Oops, I forgot the 5. X squared minus 3. So if you multiply negative 2 times back, so you end up with negative 2 times 5x squared, which is negative 10x squared, and negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. So then you factor it as 5x squared minus 3. So you always want to pull out, okay, the greatest common factor, which is 5x squared minus 3, the common factor repeated in both, on the left, on the right, which is 5x squared minus 3, and then the leftover is going to be x squared minus 2. So here's the final answer. So again, pick the method that makes more sense to you and practice practice the method until you become you master it. Okay. Okay, so this is the second one, and I would like you to check your understanding by trying. Okay, please check your understanding. Pause the video and try to factor this polynomial. Okay, see you soon. So now I show you by using the box, by grouping and the box method. Okay, however, I notice that so the factor form is x squared minus 1 times 2x squared plus 1. Okay, so however, you're not done factoring. Why? Because I notice that you have a difference of 2 square. Okay, because you have two perfect square. X squared is the perfect square as well as 1. Okay, so because of this, okay, let me cite here. Okay, because you have a difference of perfect square, I can continue further where I can factor x squared minus 1 as x minus 1 times x plus 1. And make sure you bring down the second. And this is a factor, the final factor form. Okay, so I should even go further. Y equal again x minus 1 times x plus 1, and then 2x squared plus 1. Always factor completely. If you recognize the sum of 2 squared, please factor it as a product of 2 complex conjugate. Here was if you also recognize the difference of 2 squared, factor it out. Okay. So thank you for watching my videos. Have a wonderful day and see you to the next one. Bye-bye.